This video is about reflexive verbs and pronouns. What is reflexive? In German, verbs that express an act that is being done to oneself, or verbs that express individual or personal activities are reflexive. This means that you can have a reflexive self, making the action reflexive, like I buy myself a poster. Ich kaufe mir ein Poster. This also means that some verbs are reflexive verbs because they always involve an action that the subject does to itself, like I wash my hands. Ich wasche mir die Hände. In order to correctly use reflexive, you need to know a new set of pronouns, reflexive pronouns. They resemble pronouns that you already know, but you need to remember to tack self onto them. When you think about them in English, the reflexive pronouns are mich, mir, dich, dir, sich, uns, euch, and sich. Sich, uns, euch, and sich are the same in accusative and dative, so I only wrote them once because it's easier to remember fewer things. The meanings of these pronouns are myself, yourself, him, her, or itself, ourselves, yourselves, themselves, or yourself formal. Probably the best thing about these pronouns is that they mostly look like pronouns you already know, and there are so few of them. The pronouns for himself, herself, itself, themselves, and your formal self are all sich. How great is that? Reflexive pronouns can be accusative. This happens when the direct object of the sentence is the person doing the action. For example, ich wasche mich, I wash myself. I, the subject, am washing something, but that something is myself. Reflexive. You can see here that what is being washed is myself, and that makes myself also accusative. Waschen is a strange-looking verb, so I have provided it for you. Note that it is a stem vowel changer, and that Germans have no problem with putting SCH-ST together. The verb is ich wasche, du wäschst, sie es wäscht, wir waschen, ihr wascht, sie und sie waschen. See if you can do these examples below with waschen. Pause the video now. You should have du wäschst dich, wäscht sich, wir waschen uns, sie waschen sich. In each of these sentences, the subject is washing something that is itself. Reflexive pronouns can also be dative. This happens when the direct object of the sentence is a thing that belongs to the person doing the action. For example, ich wasche mir die Hände is I wash myself the hands. You can see here that what is being washed is the hands, which means that they are accusative. The hands belong to someone, and that self is dative. Waschen is still a strange-looking verb, so I provided it for you. Note again that it is a stem vowel changer, and that SCH-ST is okay with Germans. We have ich wasche, du wäschst, sie es wäscht, wir waschen, ihr wascht, sie und sie waschen. See if you can do the following examples with waschen. Pause the video now and try them on your own. You should have du wäschst dir die Hände, wäscht sich die Hände, wir waschen uns die Hände, sie waschen sich die Hände. Note, die Hände, the hands, never change. The self to whom they belong is what changes. We already mentioned that there are two different kinds of verbs for reflexive. Those that are regular verbs that you can use as reflexive, like kaufen if you buy something for yourself. And there are other verbs that are always reflexive. The next few slides will list some of the more popular reflexive verbs. If they demand reflexive, they will be listed with sich. That is just a placeholder or a red flag here, similar to how we use ist with all of the past participles in the perfect or the present perfect to show if a verb uses sein as its helping verb. The pronoun is not always sich, but it does show that you need a reflexive pronoun here. I'll let you read the English on your own, and I'll just read the German to you. I've left them blank so that if you wanted to quiz yourself with this video, you could do so. Sich duschen, sich waschen, sich schminken, sich anziehen, sich ausziehen, sich baden, sich kämen, sich rasieren. Note, anziehen and ausziehen both have separable prefixes. An is a prefix and aus is a prefix, so if you conjugate these verbs in the present tense, those prefixes will go at the end of the sentence. Now we have sich beeilen, sich hinsetzen, or sich setzen. The verb is the same either way. Sich erkälten, sich benehmen, sich wohl, nicht wohl fühlen, sich verspäten, sich hinlegen, sich legen, sich erholen, sich entschuldigen, sich gut verstehen, sich treffen, sich entscheiden, sich langweilen, sich unterhalten. Some verbs require certain prepositions in German. This isn't new. We know that to say, I go to the movies, we need to say ins Kino and not zu or auf Kino. I will include the prepositions here. Again, these have been left blank so that if you want to quiz yourself, you could always use the video to do so. Your answers would be sich ärgern über, sich erinnern an, sich interessieren für, sich gewöhnen, sich vorbereiten, sich beschweren über, sich freuen über, sich kümmern sich freuen auf, sich vorstellen. In vorbereiten, for is another separable prefix. We also have some dative daily routine and reflexive verbs. They are sich die Zähne putzen, sich etwas anziehen, sich die Haare waschen, sich die Hände waschen, sich die Augen schminken, sich die Lippen schminken, sich das Gesicht rasieren, sich die Beine rasieren, sich etwas kaufen, kochen, sich etwas leisten können, sich etwas überlegen, sich etwas vorstellen. In this vorstellen, for is a separable prefix. That's not the case in all of them. We now have 6 examples for you to try on your own. You may prefer to work in groups or with partners if you have that available to you. Pause the video and try to write these sentences that are all reflexive on your own. Your answers should be: Du wäschst dir die Hände. Ich interessiere mich für Politik. Claudia zieht sich morgens an. Remember, anziehen is a separable prefix verb. That's why an is at the end. Justin putzt sich 8 Uhr die Zähne. Die Kinder erkälten sich oft im Winter. Er rasiert sich jeden Tag.